in the garden.
All right, Tuck, thank you. In today's Garden Grow, we're answering your questions. Here to help out, of course, Derek Thomas from Thomas Landscapes. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. We've got 3 viewers who have some questions for you.
Yeah, we've got some,
ready?
and they're correct for the time because
Okay.
when I saw Tucker this morning, I said, "Can you please make the weather change?"
Yes, and he said no. So now we have to answer these. Okay, first one, Melissa from Capitol Hill. Thank you for writing in. Melissa writes, can you tell me if repeatedly walking on mulched beds in winter planted with peonies and other perennials harms the flowers or compacts the soil in some way harmful to the plants?
This is a neighborhood little bit of a tiff I think that they're having,
okay.
and what's happening is they're wondering whether traffic, foot traffic or pet traffic, is going to compact the soil and hurt the tender shoots. The answer to that is that it absolutely can. And what you want to do is you have to remember that these plants, most of the times, maybe an inch, maybe at the most 2 inches below the soil, they have the new shoots that are ready to come up. And if you're walking across them, you are going to potentially harm those plants. And at best, if you don't really kill the plant, at best you could be delaying the bloom or the growth.
So do not walk on the peonies.
Try to stay off of the peonies as best as you can. Yeah.
Alex in Brooklyn asked, my evergreen plants have become brownish and some are losing leaves. Does this have something to do with the cold temps, or is it something else that's possibly going wrong here? I have sent pictures. Please help.
Right. And actually, I brought in these today. And what's going on here, this is windburn. The temperatures have been fluctuating. We've had warm days. Monday was a nice day, and then all of a sudden the temperatures dropped off again.
Right.
What happens here is through transpiration, the plant is actually losing needed moisture to feed itself. And what you can do is, if you haven't done it already, if it gets warm again, you can use an anti-decusant, which is something like wilt-proof. You spray it on both the upper and the undersides of the leaves, and it helps protect the plant from losing moisture. In future years, what you can do with plants like this is use burlap to wrap it and maybe even pile in some leaves, because that's going to help maintain the moisture.
Okay.
But we've just had a really, really cold winter. Some of these plants will not come back. They will have to sprout out from the main shoot.
All right. We got one more. Suzanne in Tacoma Park. Good morning, Suzanne. Suzanne says, I've been told that this year's freeze may affect my crepe myrtles.
Yes.
Is this the case? Do I have to be worried for their health? Can I do something to save them?
Well, you can't really. I brought in a crepe myrtle branch just so everyone can see what it looks like right now. This is what your crepe myrtle looks like right now. It's dormant. You can't do anything right now, and we won't know whether our crepe myrtles are going to make it or not. But what we do know, and it's funny because you guys were talking about the icebreakers on the Annapolis, 20, 30 years ago, crepe myrtles reliably froze to the ground. So anything that was aerial in the spring, we had to take down. We haven't had cold enough temperatures and long-term cold enough temperatures recently in the past 10, 20 years. This spring, what you'll have to do is crepe myrtles, they grow out later. So don't go pruning them in March if you don't see any growth. Wait until about April. Wait and kind of look around the neighborhood if you see other crepe myrtles that have started to grow out.
There it is in better times.
Yeah, that's a crepe myrtle in better times. If you see other crepe myrtles, your neighbors are starting to grow out and yours haven't, then you will want to take some action and cut it back.
Okay. Derek, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Over to you.
And you can follow me on at Thomas Garden Guy.
Okay.
This is where 2 of the questions came from, actually.
Follow Derek. We do. Over to you guys.
I'm following you right now, Derek. Follow back. Still ahead in the Fox beat this morning, Motley Crue calling it quits, and they're doing so in a way that will enable them to make it official, not like all these bands that say this is it.
That's it. This is official.
They found a way to say this is it.
Okay.
Kevin will explain coming up in the Fox beat. It's 9:37.